Hi, this is Neil Walters, and today's video is going to be about TownStar again. And a little different this time. We got our new build, or meta, they call it. It came out today, and this is Monday. And about an hour ago, they installed the new build, or the new meta, which is a new build from their software point of view. Okay, so because we have builds for our towns, but then they have builds for their software. So they put on this new meta. And I actually had to refresh my cache to get the new meta to come up. I don't think I've had to do that in past metas. So I ended up closing the browser, and what else did I try? Control F5, going back to the main Gala menu, all those basic things, they didn't work. I had to totally refresh my cache, and then it worked. So this is a screenshot of my town from actually a few days ago. So I built the town last week under the old meta, and I used the sand mine to get cash, because in the old meta, the meta means that I hate to say the rules change, but basically the parameters that drive the game are somewhat changeable, right? And so some of the different contests, they change the parameters to make the game unique and interesting for us. So last meta, the sand mine made a lot of cash. So at first I had 2 or 3 sand mines, and toward the end, you see I had 105 million. So I really eventually got rid of all my sand mines, because that's more than enough for this little practice town. So I'm on a practice server. I built this city like this, and then you can see over here, I wrote it down here just to be sure, but I was getting 17 boxes, fabric boxes per hour using the old meta. And I could have probably done a little bit more, but it was just to kind of get my town mostly set up. And now I'm going to go to the real town. Over here, double checking. Screen's not changing. What's going on here? Okay, so there we go. I can turn these off. So I have 3 nukes now. The prior screen you shot, you only had 1. I only need the nukes turned on making batteries when I'm building a lot of new things, because I tend to keep like 20 batteries or energies in my warehouse, and I can run out when I'm building a lot of new buildings. But when I'm not building buildings, there's just no reason for them to be doing that. Okay. And as usual, my towns run slow while I'm making my videos, so this is not my normal town speed, okay? Okay, so since the picture that I did earlier, I added a lot more fabric plants, because we're going to need them now. And I just left most of the new ones in snooze mode. And actually a couple of my lumber mills, I guess I had it snoozing as well. So this is where I'm at now. I'm going to rotate it. I kind of prefer to have the river, or the river over here on the left side. Okay, so to know that the new meta is live, you come down here to these fabric plants and you do a craft. And for cotton and wool, you should see a 1, where normally it's, I think, 5. And uniforms, it only needs 1 wool now instead of 3, and so on. So this is the new meta. So now I'm probably going to need less cotton over here, and I might need a few more sheep, and so on. But it's basically just going to be like a rebalancing time. So today's Monday. The contest, of course, starts for me. It's Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I just have a chance to learn what's wrong with my town before we go live. One thing that I would improve already is, like right here, I wish I would have built these pottery shops 1 square to the right. Okay, and the same thing, this nuclear plant would be over here instead of where it is. I think that would be a little bit better, and it would save a couple spaces. And I'm using this new Orb of Hope, I think it's called. What is this thing here? Sphere of Hope, not Orb, Sphere of Hope. And that cancels the dirtiness from these fabric plants. They only go 2, but they will make these potteries here actually turn to a yellow timer. This one's not even on yet. I just added that one actually earlier today. I might need 6 of these guys. And so what I can do to add the 6th one, in this current build, I could put it right here. And then I thought, I must have clicked the wrong thing. I thought I was going to put another lumber mill up here, so that I have 6 lumber mills now. But if I put that pottery plant there, then that lumber mill can't be there because it won't have a road. So I think I intended to put it up here because it will touch this water pump right here. Okay, so I'm just going to tune for a few minutes. I just wanted you to see where I'm at now and what I've done. And it's going to be a lot of tuning, basically. So that's where I'm at. Oh, and guess what? Since I cleared my cache, guess what I lose? All my auto sales. So I have to rebuild all those. I had a few iron ores left over. I think I had enough. Well, I think I just let it run too long earlier. So I had enough iron originally to build up to 3 nukes, and I only built 2 originally. But I still had a little too much iron ore there, which I can't really trash now. I'm thinking there's really no need to have auto sell on the cotton because this is a one crop game. That's the only crop we have going. And same thing with the wool. No, actually, 2 things go in the warehouse: the boxes and the wool. So I better have a little bit of auto sell on the wool. And there's one more fabric plant is going to go right there. What I had is my silo there earlier, so I figured, well, I get a little bit of power if I need it on that fabric plant, so I moved my silo over here. Right now I have 5 ATVs. That might be too many. I have 4 farm tractors. I think that's going to have to go down. Let's count. I have 15 of the logger houses. I have 23 fabric plants. That's pretty incredible. And I don't know if it's, again, balanced yet or not. We'll find out soon. Let me point out one thing. When you're making uniforms, you only need 1 energy compared to the normal 3. And then when you make fabric boxes, you don't need any energy at all. So that's, if I was maybe thinking better, that's why you may not need this extra nuke plant here. Like these could all be making the fabric boxes. However, it's just, I feel safer, and like that way I can switch if I want to. Like if I decide that, oh, the fabric boxes should be over here for speed or some reason, I can switch. So I just feel a little safer having that 3rd nuclear plant there, even though right now I think I've got everybody, I could probably cover everybody without it. Now, one of the features I really wish they would do is either like change the color or put an icon on the fabric plants so you know what they're doing. So basically the ones that are close to the cotton and the wool, which is right here, I know those are going to be cotton and wool, but it's still hard to remember like which one's cotton and which one's wool. So like right now, I think I have these 3 wool, and I'm already forgetting what's what. So, maybe by grouping them better, you could remember which ones are which. But of course, you're probably going to be flipping them at first while you're tuning. So right now over here, I think I just kind of decided to make uniforms with these 4. And most of these are cotton and wool. And then over here, I think I'm making the fabric boxes. These 2 here, cotton and wool. So I don't even have a good count right now. So after I get off the video recording here, I have to go count everything. And then I'm just going to have to watch all my stats here for 20, 30 minutes and then check, 20, 30 minutes and check, and so on to see if I'm really making the right stuff. Like right now, I got way too many batteries in inventory, which is not good. I thought I had those auto sell lower, but maybe that auto sell got messed up too. And then what else? I feel like right now my silo is full of cotton, even though now I've got more fabric plants all going for cotton. So that's a good indicator that I'm not sucking down my cotton, and I can probably get rid of 1 or 2 farm tractors. I'll just start with 1. I'll get rid of 1 farm tractor and then maybe a couple of cotton fields. And then, as long as that silo has, say, 10 cotton in it, I know I'm good to go, right? The wool, let's check it. Yeah, I have 10 wool right now. That's a wool storage. I could use a regular storage unit, which would hold more than 10. That might be something to consider. I did buy these 2 of these critters. They're called the quick builder houses. So that basically that just helps you early in the game when you're doing a lot of building. So pretty soon now I can just use the old builder houses for whatever I need to build at this point. And I can free these 2 spaces up and put something else there if I need to. I think I might need another sheep or two, or maybe put another warehouse there for wool. We'll see. And I'm obviously going to have to wait a while because this is what inventory I have now. So like I have a lot of like wax left over from my previous version of the game. And so like right now I see no pottery pots in here, which indicates I'm going to need, or ceramic bowls. So I'm probably going to need another pottery plant. But as long as I have wax, I'm okay, right? So I need to wait and see if it drains all these waxes or not. That's one issue I got to look at. Right now I have more wood than lumber, and I have an abundance of wooden boxes. So for temporarily, I might need to slow down my wooden boxes and up my lumber in my lumber mills. See where these two farm tractors were here, I got rid of one. If I get rid of the other one, that's another spot for a couple of fabric plants maybe, or a couple of logger. I think I could put logger houses, at least one here. This one might cause a little bit of shade, but don't think I'm short on trees right now. I love having the river over here. That and of course, my water towers are spread everywhere with that, so I have plenty of water basically. And I hope I can get a river in the real game. It just seemed to help a lot in this game. I think I'm in the plains this time, is what my biome is. Okay, and now I want to show you the chart that I often make to give you the hierarchy, or what's called the bill of materials, kind of a business term. To make one fabric plant, you need one wooden box, one wax, and three uniforms. The wax is made from the beehives, stored in the pantry, and you need the beekeepers to pick it up. Lumber mill makes the wooden box, and of course you're going to need lumber mills for that, and lumber mills for your normal lumber. And here you have your three uniforms, needs cotton, wool, cotton yarn, wool yarn, and energy. And this time, cotton yarn only needs, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Now it's just hard getting used to the new rules. So a uniform now only needs one cotton and one wool. Okay, get that down. So you're just going to need one cotton, one lumber, and one energy. Same thing for the wool. And then you need energy for that. And then you need for your wax, you need a lumber, three nectar, and a ceramic bowl. So then going on down, you'll need clay for your ceramic bowls if you don't have the zone, haunted zone thing. And all the water drums, I'm just going to handle by the water pumps, and all the energies I'm going to handle by nuclear plants. So what I'm interested now in is knowing what can my town potentially produce. So let me slide this over just one sec. So here is what I need to make. Okay, so one fabric box requires, the way I counted it is 10 lumber. So let's see if I got that right. So I'll show you how I did that. So going down the tree here, there's one lumber. Let's do the easy ones. Well, no, they're not easy after that. So there's one lumber. Then you need a wax, which needs a lumber. So that's two. But then you need three nectars. So that's 3, 4, 5. And you come over here, you need three uniforms. So that's 6, 7, 8. And this is 9, 10, 11. So actually, I had 11 earlier, and I counted, and I thought I only needed 10. So we change that number. The magic of a spreadsheet changes the whole table for me. Okay, so now for one fabric plant, I need 3 cottons because I need 3 uniforms. Each cotton is going to need 1 cotton yarn, which is 1 cotton. I need basically 3 wools. If you just roll it up, and anytime there's a number in here, I guess I could multiply it on the way down and put in parentheses, like down here, 3 lumber. This is the one I think I wasn't counting before. Yeah, wax. No, wait. Oh, man, I messed up. So sorry, folks. I don't know why I did that. That was just kind of stupid, actually. Very stupid. Nectar does. Oh, the nectar doesn't require anything. The wax requires the lumber. The nectar doesn't require any lumber. So, sorry guys, I shouldn't have wasted your time with that. Now we need to recount again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's why I did the dumb spreadsheet. So yeah, it's 3 less because I had it wrong. An 8 in there. That's how many lumber I'm going to need. Okay, and the other amazing thing is you only need 2 woods for lumber. So I'm going to add another column right here and just multiply the lumber by 2. Okay, so there's the revised numbers. So now what I'm going to do is bring up my town, and I'm going to start looking at my ratios of different things. And normally you're used to need 3 cottons for every 1 wool. In this game, you need equal numbers. So basically, if you look at after say 30 minutes or an hour in your performance monitor, your cotton and your wool should be equal. Now, how many times more lumber than I need than cotton? I can do a ratio here as well. So let me go off video and do that as well. Okay, so there we go. I did the wood to cotton ratio. The lumber to cotton ratio would just be simply half of that. So of course the ratio is the same no matter whether you're building 10 fabric plants or 100, you still need the same ratios. So basically, I think this is all I need to optimize is whatever my cotton and my wool and nectar need to be equal. And then I need to make 5 times as much wood as I do those things. And I think that's going to be the simplest balancing we've ever done in this game. Okay. So I'm going to go play with my town now and see if I can balance according to these statistics. Now, I'll show you one other thing I learned a while back. Of course, you can hit Control plus and Control minus. It will change the size of your production monitor. But the bad thing about that is when you go to buy a product, let me just show you. Like if you go to the store, then it also makes your icons or your pictures in your store like a little too big. They're like, oh my gosh, they're in your face. So I kind of wish we had separate controls on those 2 items. So what I need to do now is figure out, sort this. I don't have the sort yet either. It'd be nice if you could sort by the columns here. So there's my cotton. Okay, so no, cotton is not even so important. Okay, really, yeah, I only need 1 cotton per cotton yarn as well in this game. So I'm still making more than enough cotton. So that tells me I can get rid of another cotton field and maybe even another tractor. Okay. Batteries don't matter. Fabric boxes at this point don't matter. I'm just trying to show you the things I just talked about. So here's your lumber, okay, $5.42 an hour. So now I'm going to drag my spreadsheet back on top here. And if I'm getting $5.44 lumber, basically, see, you could come down here and say, okay, where's $5.44 in the lumber? If everything is balanced, then that should tell me roughly how many fabric boxes I should be able to make given that lumber. If the lumber is the critical item, the critical path, or I think it's called the critical path. Okay. Looking over here now, you see my wool is a little bit bigger than my wool yarn. Now we want to compare that to my cotton. I wish that didn't happen. Do you get that? Searching for connection? Actually, post in your comments if you see that, because I get it way too often. So let's compare cotton. I got $2.24 per hour cotton, and my wool is definitely under that. So I need less cotton and more wool. So right now, what's my biggest constraint is wool. So again, if I pop up my chart, I got 168 wool. We come down to the wool column now, go down to 168. That's right in between here. That means I'll be making 50 to 60. So I have enough lumber to make, say, 70s, but I only have enough wool to make, say, 50 to 60. So I'm definitely going to need some more sheep pins. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to show you how to think, okay? Think about what you're shortest of and try to optimize that, and then try to get everything in balance. Like I said, this game is going to be, I think, easier to balance than most of the ones that we've had before. At some point, I'll actually have to count how many fabric plants I have doing cotton and wool and so on. But right now, if I just go to the lowest level items, the cotton and the wool, balance that, and then make sure I have enough wood to cover it, I should be doing pretty good. And you see, I basically do have a lot of open spaces still on my town here, so that's what I need to strategize right now to see what I need to fill in those spots with. Get the stuff back up again here. So I can see some tuning I'm going to have to do down here, and that is, I can think I'm going to need another feed mill. So I'm going to probably sacrifice this sheep pen and put a feed mill there because I have two spaces all the way around this wheat stand. I can put feed mills, and then if I can always put the sheep pen here or here. I might need a third trowel, so that's one thing to consider here. It probably would have been smarter to have a little more separation between my wheat stand and my nectar, or what do you call them, beehives here, just in case I needed one more beehive as well. It'd be good to have a little padding room in there separating these. And I can still do that, of course. But next time when I do my build, that's one thing I might do a little different. But you know what? Again, I'm thinking out loud here. I've never run out of wool in my wool storage. So maybe I don't need any more sheep pens. If I just watch that, they're picking the wool about as fast as they, I mean, they're leaving wool in there. So I don't really have a wool shortage, I don't believe. So if anything, I probably have a shortage of fabric plants making wool. So I'm going to go do a little count. Okay, so another little ratio we're going to have to consider is we'll need 3 times as many uniforms as fabric boxes. But then basically, uniforms have things. Yeah, this is a little mind confusing. So, yeah, I think you need the same number of uniforms, cotton, and wool. Exact same number, right? But you'll need less fabric boxes. So right now, I've already lost count. This is going to be the hardest part of this build is I just have to go around and start counting. Okay, this one's cotton, this one's wool. And I did that, and I ended up with 13 cotton, 7 wool, 3 uniforms, and I actually don't remember how many fabric boxes, maybe only 1. So I got to rebalance a lot. So that's one reason I'm making so much cotton picking cotton, right? So now I need to reduce my cotton guys. So if I have 13 cotton, just a minute. Now here, it's hard. I don't know if I should draw a diagram or whatever. Let me just try to say it orally. I have 13 cotton, 7 wool, and 3 uniforms. So I'm going to have to basically, that's 23 fabric plants. I need to have them basically 7, 7, and 7. Okay, I need 7 cotton, 7 wool, and 7 uniforms, and then maybe 2 or 3 fabric box places. So let me work on that and come back. Okay, I had to come up with a new system here. So over here, C means cotton. So here I have CC, N is nuke, C, cotton, wool, F is fabric, or fabric box. And here I have fabric box, fabric box. So the theory is those are a little bit closer to the warehouse. And then on the right side, these are all uniforms. So I have the 7 fabric plants there, all uniforms. Then over here, these 3 are, let's see, yeah. So LL is lumber, lumber. Then I have CCC, cotton, 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 XX, or unrelated things that I didn't bother writing down. Then right here, I have C. Oops, that's not an X. Oh, X, because I haven't got that one started yet. So there's one that's available. So here, this is the question mark one. Then we have WW, wool, 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 and then X is where the lumber yard is. And then down here I have 3 WWW, which is 3 wools. So that is my current configuration. So now I'm going to reset my stats and let it run a while. So over here and just do reset. While that's doing that, let me think about what I got to do with this extra space. So I have at least 3 or 4 spaces on here that are usable, right? And next to the trees, of course, I could cause shade, which would slow them down. But there's one question is, do I have enough trees? I need to do the math on that and look at my stats. Then I think it's kind of obvious. I need another fabric plant here, and one here. And those aren't going to have any electricity or very little electricity. This is like 4, 3, 2, 1. So they're not near that nuclear plant. So they could be the ones that make the fabric boxes because the fabric boxes do not require any electricity. Okay. So if I do that, then I might just add another little warehouse over here because that means they're going to have to go all the way over here to get their uniforms, walk all the way back, make their fabric box, and then they could stuff it in the closest warehouse. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking right now. And I thought I'd check, and also looks like the cotton and the wool have almost the same timer. So it's like 55, probably 60 seconds, I'm guessing. I have to go look at the playbook, right? But it looks like if, for example, wool took twice as long as cotton, then that would change our ratio of our buildings, right? But it seems like they use the same amount of time. I should check the fabric boxes as well. What's their timer going to be? So rather than just sitting here waiting on it, I think I will go look it up. And uniforms, like what's their timer? Find one that's like starting here. Looks like everybody, a lot of people are waiting on lumber, not these guys. Fetch one of those. Follow this lady down here, see where she takes hers to. Nope. Oh, she just finished that. So here in Dub Step Rod's playbook, we see we have 2 minutes for lumber. Oh, that's one of their twists. I think they increased the time for lumber, didn't? No, that's wooden box. Sorry, that's wooden box. Never mind. So yeah, lumber is still 10 seconds. Wooden box is 2 minutes. So that might affect how many lumber mills we need. Here's the fabric plants. And so, yeah, the timers are all 1 minute, except fabric plants are actually a little bit less. Okay, so before I actually had, that's not what wood was. I forget what wood was set at. I think wood was set at like 40 or something. I had 3 lumber yards before. I don't have any of the super large lumber yards. So I'm never gonna sell lumber. Wood needs to be set at about 25 because I can't make lumber. It's going to throw away the lumber basically if there's not room for it in my 2 lumber yards. So now I'm going to turn auto sell. There goes the wood. So that way the lumber can pile in there a little better. I'm trying to decide right now if I got enough trees and loggers or if I'm going to need another couple lumber mills. So let's look at those statistics. Actually, I should probably reset now after doing that. So let me reset again, wait 5-10 minutes and come back. And again, I'm thinking out loud here. I think another improvement in my final game would be to spread out my lumber mills. And even right now, I'm thinking about putting a lumber mill right here and maybe a logger house over here. Not logger house, I'm sorry, a lumber mill. A lumber mill and a lumber yard. Oh, those terms mess me up. Okay, so if I put that over here, because these guys are having to walk to go get their lumber, and by the time they get their lumber, if I don't have, well, now I started to have 9 or 10 lumber in there. My point is I don't want them to walk all the way over there and then there not be a lumber there, because that's killed me in a few past games. So it's something I'm consciously aware of now. And I definitely don't have any ceramic pots in inventory, so I'm going to add another pottery shop here. Means I'll lose this lumber mill. So I'm going to put the lumber mill over here like I mentioned. And guess what? I can't do that because I don't have a paved road there. I don't have any road. Oh, no, I'll put the paved road here where the lumber mill was. That's what I'll do. And not that I'm going to buy it, but I'm just shopping here. This is the legendary lumber storage, which will hold 60 instead of 20 lumber. It's almost 40% of an ETH. So when we click on that, we can see the dollar price. That should be around, that should be over $1,000, I think. Maybe 800. We'll see just a second. Ooh, doggies, $600 for that thing. I think that's one I can live without. I think I'd rather have another small Tesla coil maybe than that. But that just went up in price too. Because there's one thing here when the ETH price goes up, so far these NFTs have been going up too. So unless people when they sell them, I guess they have in their mind, do they want so much ETH for it or Gala, or did they want so many dollars for it? But if the ETH price goes up 40% after they place their item for sale, then they're going to get a little bonus if anybody buys it. And that means I may have to wait for the prices to come back down. Or anyway, it's a whole interesting economics there going on. Just checking my lumber right now. Of course, I've been building buildings too, which throws off the statistics. So I should have more lumber than this now that the buildings are done. So I have 1,570 per hour. That puts me around here, which I think is probably a lot more than like the cotton and stuff, right? So let me just temporarily highlight that. This is where I'm at now with my wood. If we look over here for cotton yarns, let's go 177. Ooh, I was recording. I didn't realize that. Okay, so now I've filled in these numbers. I think this is the best thing I've done lately as far as my work goes. I got this spreadsheet, and one thing I'm going to do is make it a little more granular now. Like I noticed over here, like I have gaps of 30. So like if I'm getting 70 nectar right now, that's kind of between 60 and 90. So I went with the lower number. So I'm probably going to make my fabric boxes here go by 3s or 5s, probably by 5s. And then I'll probably pick the next lower number. So my goal is really these 3 columns. And I changed this from cotton to cotton yarn and wool to wool yarn. I think yeah, that's what I did. They should really be the same because you're doing 1 per 1 this game. So anyway, the nectar needs to be equal to these 2, and the wood needs to be 5.3 times more than these 3, than any one of these. So if the cotton is 150, that means I need about 1,500 wood, right? And I am getting 1,500 wood right now. So that's actually good. So then I have to figure out if I move up to the next level, like if I want to make 180 cotton yarn, I'll need, maybe 17 or 1,900 wood. I need to do the math. But right now you can see my biggest issue, it looks like, is nectar. So I have to figure out what the bottleneck is there. It could be that I just now built that extra, I'd say I haven't even turned that last pottery plant on. So, oh yeah, see over here, I just finished building that. So I'm going to do the right click and start making, or craft, search box. I am going to turn on craft for ceramic bowls. And now I think I need to reset my stats. And, I did move a few things around here as well. So I need to reset all the stats, wait. You never know how long you need to wait. I'd say at least 10, 15 minutes before the stats kind of at least give you a rough idea, and probably 30 minutes to an hour to be even more accurate. But, you need to make adjustments. You can't always wait an hour when you're in the competition, right? Just thinking ahead, what if I do need more ceramic bowls? I'm going to have to add another pottery plant, and I think I have to count the distance here, how much clay this gives me. I think this gives me 4 clay now that it's doubled, so there's like 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not going to be enough clay, I don't think, if I put it there. So then my choice is actually break the road here. I could put 2 pottery plants where this road is. And of course, that's going to slow down people, right? And I have no other road that goes all the way across to the right side except the very top. So it might have been nice to have 1 road in the middle here, or anyway, two roads kind of equally spaced that traverse all the way across the town. That would be a smart idea if I improve this build next time. And then I have to think about, okay, if I put a pottery plant, for example, here, there I can move the beekeeper over here. That's easy. That's very cheap and easy. Just breaking the road is what I worry about most. This kind of road here is very wasted. I mean, the one thing it does, it provides separation between these and these, but now that I have the sphere of hope here, that road is really a big waste. Oh, but again, you have to have a paved road next to pottery plant. So it's not a waste because you have to have it. What might be the waste is this little unpaved road right here. I'm lazy about paving my roads until the end when I know I need them. So look over here, I have 24 wax. So, maybe I don't have a ceramic bowl issue. It could just be that as soon as the ceramic bowls get made, they immediately go over here. But as long as I'm making enough nectars, so let's go back to my spreadsheet. Sorry, not nectars, wax, wax, wax. And dummy, that should say wax there too. That's why I'm getting so confused. You there say wax. Sorry, sometimes I start the video and stop it in the wrong places. So I know this is a bit of a stream of a conscious video today, but I'm teaching you how my mind thinks. And everybody has their own way of planning and preparing for the game. This is how I prepare. I do a little bit of a practice run as soon as I can before the actual game starts. And then when I go into the real game, I kind of have a game plan, at least in my head. I don't lay my town out perfectly on the little charts like everybody does, but I more or less know what's going to go where. And I will have a screenshot of my current town, and I know what I like and what I don't like about it, and I will just move them over as necessary. I played enough where I can do that. But this time I'm actually putting a little more thought into the ratios and the numbers here. So I'm going to go work on my spreadsheet and show you my results in a second. Okay, so now here's my spreadsheet. I went ahead and added uniforms and ceramic bowls. So again, this is what would be nice. I know some people have scripts that'll do this sort of thing. Okay, so let me show you where. Okay, so here's where now I changed my spreadsheet a little bit. Whoa, there it is. I put my ratios down here because they don't change from line to line. So that's already really built in. So what I need to do is basically line up, pretend these are levers in a factory. And I want to get all the levers on the same row, and then I will be maximizing my production for my town. Okay. And my lowest levers right now are wax and ceramic bowls. They're pretty much 1-to-1 ratio with each other. So if I increase my ceramic bowls, then I should get more wax. And then if I could get that up to at least this row, then that will determine how many fabric boxes I can make. Okay. So right now, looking at my city, I think I'm going to need more ceramic bowls. The best place for now I can put them, I believe, is right here where this road is. I hate to block my road, but I think I'm going to have to do it. And the reason is they'll get free clay from here. They'll get the water from here. They won't be getting dirty from anything. And then I just have to move a couple of my beekeepers somewhere else, which I think I have good spots for them, hopefully. And the other places, where else could I put my pottery plants? Anywhere else, they're going to need clay. And then they're going to need, if I have clay, then I'll need a construction worker to handle the clay. They would need a water facility to carry the water, or I'd have to build another water pump somewhere. Up here, they're going to get dirty. Now, I do have my sphere of hope. I could use that to undirty some things if I needed to. So maybe in the next game, when I plan it out, I might be able to put pottery houses or pottery plants up here and then put the sphere there. But then that means the fabric plants have to move somewhere else too. So everything's going to have to juggle a little. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go tune a while, and that's my strategy. That's my stream of conscious on how I'm going to tune my game. And again, this is just the practice game right now. The real game starts tomorrow. This is Monday right now. I have another meeting this evening, some training and class I have to go to. So this is about it for me recording right now. I'll see you probably in the next video, unless I come back and update this one more time later tonight. Okay, this is what my town looks like now. You can see I have 8 beehives here. I think I might need 9. Also ceramics, I have 8 pottery shops, might need 9. or maybe even 10 of those. That would be my next changes from my final game. And I'll show you the numbers in just a second. So if we just check a few more things again here. My wool's down, but I don't think it's ever gone below 5. So I think we're getting plenty of wool. Cotton is still getting plenty of cotton. I think I have most of my buildings right. Now let me show you my statistics. Again, if you have a script that'll do this for you, more power to you. I don't have one, but I bet there are people out there that have created it. So the green are my current numbers, and yellow what was where I was like an hour and a half ago. So it's now 9:15 Monday night. My last video was about 7:30 or so almost 2 hours now. So the green numbers are where I'm at. I'm only getting 35 fabric boxes per hour. According to my numbers here, it seems like I should be getting 45. So that's the first thing I need to check on is why is my estimate of what it seems like to me the lowest of these green lines here, if I just go across, that's how many fabric boxes I should have. So that's the first thing I need to tune. These actually are very good here. This the lumber, cotton, wool, and uniforms, you see. And actually, the real number wasn't 195. This is just my calculation from the spreadsheet. So my number was within, say, 10 of that, one way or the other. So I'm really close. Those bars are leveled out. And maybe I have a little too much lumber and probably way too much wood at this point. So I think I could kill some trees and maybe some logger houses. And I need to just watch it for a while and see if it's selling wood, because it may just be selling wood, which we don't need to do. And then that might free up some free spaces to do some other fun things. My biggest issue right now is wax. And my second biggest issue is ceramic bowls. So I would say I need another, looks like 2 beehives and at least one more pottery shop to pull my numbers up to this level here. And so this is, again, how I balance the game. Your game's going to be different. It all depends on, what your town looks like, what your NFTs are. But the concept of balancing that I'm getting across here is going to be the same. So hopefully in this video, I've taught you how to balance things, how to get it all leveled out, what you need. And this is kind of quantitative video where I really got into the numbers more than I usually do. And sometimes I don't get this detailed. It just I was inspired tonight to create this spreadsheet. And it was kind of easy because these numbers are kind of flat. But I think in the future, I'm going to have to do a spreadsheet kind of like this for any type of town, just to know like where my numbers are. So that's it. I wish you guys good luck this week in your game and your competition. And I hope to see you in the top 600 or better. And have a good week. Bye-bye.